Over the past few months, the Counter-Strike community has been talking a lot about potential EU ban on loot boxes, and because of that fear, case prices have been dropping. But the real question is this fear justified or is it just panic? Let's break it down. Many games use loot boxes. League of Legends, Roblox, EAFC, and of course CS2. The European Union is discussing legislation for 2026 or later that would restrict gambling-like mechanisms in games that are accessible to minors. Here's the key part of the proposal. Ban gambling-like mechanisms such as loot boxes in games accessible to minors. So the main issue isn't loot boxes themselves, it's whether the game is considered accessible to minors. EAFC is PEGI 3. Roblox reaches kids as young as 7. These games have a much more younger audience and their economies rely heavily on packs and loot systems. So yes, these games would face a much bigger challenge and might need to redesign their systems. Counter-Strike, on the other hand, is a first-person shooter about planting and defusing bombs and eliminating enemies. Whether we like it or not, it's clearly not designed for young children. Officially, the PEGI rating is 16. So CS2 is not a game targeted at minors. And here's something important. Valve could easily raise the rating to 18 plus if necessary. If they did that, CS2 would automatically fall outside the scope of the ban. That alone makes a full ban on cases extremely unlikely. Some countries like Belgium banned loot boxes years ago, and Valve responded by disabling case openings in those regions. In France, the law required more transparency, so Valve added a system where you can preview what item is inside before paying, similar to the X-ray scanner, but adapted to local rules. This shows something important. Valve always adapts to keep the case ecosystem alive. Cases, stickers, and skins are a massive revenue source. If the EU tried to fully restrict case openings, Valve would change the age rating, modify the opening system, create region-specific versions, or apply transparency mechanisms, long before they let the CS2 economy collapse. Let's be honest, if cases were removed, investors would be furious, players would lose interest, and the in-game economy would collapse. Valve would lose millions. And no company lets its biggest moneymaker disappear without a fight. In my opinion, this entire situation feels more like fear and speculation than a real threat. Loot boxes are a core part of Valve's business model. They're not going anywhere. But as always, form your own opinion. Do you think CS2 cases will be banned? Or will Valve adapt and keep everything running? Let me know in the comments and see you next time.